everyone. Myself Dr. Shubh Arora, Assistant Professor from Department of Commerce, GIMS Greater Noida. I once again welcome you all back to the lecture series of the subject Advertising and Brand Management. Currently we are on the third unit and today is the second lecture for it, and the topics which we are going to discuss in today's lecture are, we'll be talking about the various functions of brand and the elements of brand. So let's first talk about what do we mean by brand and branding. See, when we talk about branding, it is collectively it includes advertising, customer values, strategies used by the organization. Then we have to win the trust of the customer. Then ads are to be designed in an attractive way, and some kind of logo is attached with a brand, which becomes a symbol, a sign for a particular reflecting or denoting a particular brand, right? So different elements are attached. When we move forward to define branding, it is basically a process of creating a strong positive perception of your company and strong and positive image of your organization and the business of your organization in the mind and in the eyes of the customer, right? So which is very important, because unless the customer is aware, you spread awareness, you make the customer aware, well versed that what you are selling in the market, what are the main features of your product, or what are the additional benefits if the customer buys the products or avail the services of your organization. Until unless the customer knows about your brand, the image of your brand, the reputation of your brand, the additional features or benefits which the customer is going to get if he or she buys the products of your brand, then no use. So branding here becomes very important. Now let's start with the functions of branding. First is distinctiveness, right? So every brand is different. Every brand should have a different name, should consist of different logos, some kind of punchline, some kind of logo, symbols, etc., right? Because a different logo, different name, different symbol of each brand leaves a different impression in the minds of the customers. For example, if we talk about different brands of soaps like Synthol, OK, Lux, Tears, Vigil, etc., they create, as the customer listens to different brands or different names of soaps, the customer gets a different impression in the mind, right? So here it is how brands differentiate the products, right, in the minds of the customers, and how different brands put a different impression in the minds of the customers, right? So a branded product always enjoys a distinct or a separate identity in the market as well as in the minds or eyes of the customers. Second function is publicity. Through your brand name, the advertiser can easily publicize the product or services without facing any kind of difficulty. Once a brand name becomes popular, right, so people or the customers who are there or present in the market can easily remember the products, your brand, for a longer period of time. So therefore brand name helps you to do the publicity of your products easily. Third is protection of goods. So branded products are packaged in good quality, suitable containers. The packaging and labeling, the wrappers used, the quality of the containers or wrappers used to package the products of a particular brand is taken into consideration, because definitely a brand will not try to decrease the quality of wrappers. A brand will always try to do all those activities in such a way that it will protect the goods and the quality of goods is always remained, right? So protection of goods again is very important. So branding products are packaged in such containers or wrappers which provide full protection of goods against heat and moisture and facilitate convenient handling to the customers, right? And through this, customers derive or get lot of benefits of the branded products, right? Especially the quality aspect is maintained in case of branded products. So when a customer is spending high then customer is confident enough that I am going to get a branded product. The quality of that branding product will be up to the mark for sure. Then fourth is consumer protection. So the prices of branded products are definitely fixed by the producers and are printed on the packages, that is the MRP, maximum retail price. So this price which is printed on the package, this helps to protect the interest of the consumers, because once you have printed the maximum retail price on the label of the product, then the retailer or the retail outlet cannot sell the product more than it is mentioned on the label, right? So in this way you can protect the consumer. The prices of branded goods remain fixed at different places over a considerable period of time. They are not changed frequently because brands try to maintain the quality and price, because they need to survive in the market for a longer period of time. So they will not change the prices very frequently, which might cause some kind of discomfort or inconvenience to the customers. Then wide market. Branded products are quite popular in the wide market. The wholesalers and retailers can easily handle the branded products which are advertised by the advertiser or the marketer. Then to achieve the customer loyalty, definitely when you have a brand, right? So your brand is selling a quality product, and when you are selling a quality product at a competitive price, the branded products are available in all parts of the country at uniform prices, then all this will help your brand to generate or create loyal customers and win the customer loyalty on the part of customers. For example, if you talk about goods like under the brand name Taj Mahal tea, Nescafe coffee, Tata salt, Natraj pencils, all are branded products. All over the country, wherever you go and buy the products of these brands, there will be a uniformity of price and quality. So this makes and help the brands to win the customers and make loyal customers. Then we'll talk about the elements of branding. When we talk about elements of branding, the first element is logo. What is this logo? At the core of your brand identity is your logo, and it is the symbol that acts as a brand spokesperson. You see a symbol, for example a tick, so that tick of a brand is that it is denoting Nike, right? So before you create a logo, it is very important for an advertiser to think that what is the brand's mission, or what is the business mission, right? What are the goals, objectives, mission of a business? Based on the vision, mission the brand logo has to be fixed, because those mission carry values behind the logo or behind whatever activities you do in connection to your business. So these traits, these characteristics should totally be expressed in your logo design, whether it is of green color palette, right? Like we see eco-friendly products, right? So some kind of green signal is there, green symbol is used. Then veg or non-veg products, so veg is green and non-veg is depicted by red, right? So all these carry some kind of message behind it. This is, we talked about logo. Now let's talk about brand imaginary. The brand imaginary is very important part of communication in context of your brand identity, because it refers to the acceptable images which a brand can use all across the communications with the audience, that is the customers, and it's usually centered around the colors used in the logo of the brand. So the brand imagery works with all other image elements of the brand, and it helps to express the brand identity. So think of the brand imagery on your website or on your social media accounts. Each of those images needs to be carefully chosen by the advertiser so that they complement with the brand's color, values and overall messaging, right? So this was about brand imagery. The next is brand personality. The most memorable people are the ones whose personalities stand out, right? So the brand personality is the human part of your brand, the part that your audience can connect with directly and very quickly and easily. So creating a brand personality is one of the very important aspect of the branding process, because it's what separates your brand from the others out, right? So to create your brand personality, research, the organization or the business needs to do a in detail research in that what your competitors are doing, or how your competitors are trying to connect their brand with personalities, from famous personalities or some kind of celebrities, because the face of the celebrity, the name of the celebrity carries a lot of value and helps the brand to connect easily with the customers and win the customers, right? So the organization should try to think of adjectives with which to describe your brand. Draw what you think your brand would look like as a person. Then when you have an idea of your brand, is commit it to paper and prepare to consistently communicate with it. Then we'll talk about the next element of branding, that is brand voice. Once a brand has already connected with the brand personality, then the brand needs to come up with the brand voice. That is the tone you will use while messaging or sending messages to the customers, right? So that voice should be known, which again will help you to connect easily with your customers. So your voice should be different, distinctive in comparison to your competitors, and should be easily identifiable, complementary to the rest of your brand identity, and should be used very consistently. So in other words, we can also say that the brand voice should always be recognizable as belonging to the brand, right? So we discussed in today's class about the functions and elements of branding. So let me give you a brief overview of today's class, what all we discussed today. So we started with branding, and I told you that there are different aspects which can be collectively included in the process of branding, that is advertising, value, strategy, logo, design, trust. Then when we come to define branding, it is a process of creating strong positive image of your company, of your business, what the products and services you are selling under the brand name into the minds of the customer. Then when we talk about the different functions of branding, it includes distinctiveness, publicity, protection of goods, consumer protection, wide market, customer loyalty. Now when we come to elements of branding, it says that your brand should be different, and how your brand can be different by if you keep a different logo, a distinctive logo, because logo definitely puts a distinctive impression in the mind of the customer. Then second element is brand imagery, right? So your brand imagery is again a very important part of branding communication for making your brand's identity in the mind of the customer, right? So you should always try to use such brand imagery, that is you should think about a particular brand colors which you should choose for your products, or while giving ads of your brands you should be very specific about brand colors, values, or very specific while sending messages. Then brand personality, definitely you as a brand should look into and do some kind of in detail research, that what are the celebrities or the famous personalities or famous faces which your competitors are using to connect with the customer, brand ambassadors of different brands. So you should also come up with a famous personality or a famous face, so that it helps you to create a good bond with your customers. Then brand voice, a very famous or identifiable voice should be used by your brand, again to build a good connection with the customers. So that's all for today's class. We have discussed about branding, elements and functions. We'll be discussing about the next topics of this unit in our following lecture. Thank you and take care till then.